we're back.
Justin just stepping in front of everybody like he owns the place. Been gone for like a month.
Going for 2
Still
weeks.
back though.
He said, "Don't forget who show it really is."
Oh God.
That's what he
Damn,
said.
Conan.
It's okay. We missed you though.
Oh, thank you.
We've been carrying it. Our back hurts.
Oh, it's all
I'll just
good.
let you talk for a few minutes.
Dude,
The floor is yours.
The floor is mine. So, watched the game last night. Just didn't really have anything else going on.
You just casually watched the Super Bowl.
He said, "Fuck it, it's on. I might will."
Shit.
I'm Dustin. I just need something for the noise in the back.
Like, hey, you know,
See,
this
watched
is
on
on.
mute just to watch.
Just folding some laundry. Just look at that.
This is weird. Are these good teams? Like, yeah.
Yeah, like who's playing?
Yeah. Who
Nah,
are
Packers
they?
gonna beat the Chiefs. Just gonna go and say that.
So
Just going to put that one out there.
He said, "Wait, the fuck up my moment, Robbie." So
Yeah, that's right.
game-
Shit about A-Rod I wanted to say too. We have a lot to talk about.
But I mean, the game itself, I thought it was a good game. I mean, it wasn't like a blowout one way or another. Like it was up until the last like 2 minutes and 44 seconds before the Chiefs took the lead.
10 minutes is when San Francisco started shit in the bed.
Yeah. So sorry, Shanahan. Like
Twice.
yeah, I mean, it sucks because you kind of you feel for him, and like I was telling you
Dude.
before. I mean, I
Not my team.
I have nothing against them.
Four times.
I mean, like I said, the only reason I want San Fran to win is for the drama, and that's about it. And
Well-
now it's like the exact reason that I didn't want Kansas City to win is what's happening. It's like Pat Mahomes' greatest quarterback ever. Like, dude, I get it that he's young and that LeBron was doing stuff young and Kobe and all these other RIP Kobe. I don't think we've said that here yet, but anyway,
Slow code.
like when athletes start young and then they explode. But I mean, he's had Andy Reid, and that doesn't hurt, and he's had speed.
Like
He may have had speed for real. We don't know.
gobs of speed. Like there's no faster team in the league. None.
No, sure. I mean, that's what I'd said before during the playoffs or in the early stages of the playoffs when I said Kansas City can literally outrun a team, and that's how they had to beat the Texans. They had to outrun them on the ground and on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
They still led in 38. So
But I mean, like I don't blame Shanahan so much. I think the choices he made. Obviously, it sucks. Like he could have done some other things. I think what is it, the Honey Badger? He said something. He's like, I'm glad they stopped running. Yeah, I think he said, I'm glad they
I'm
stopped
so
running
sick
the ball.
of that, dude.
But I mean, it just sucks. The Chiefs were good enough, but like I was saying before, we went on air. Like, I'm not going to say that the officiating was terrible because I think it was.
I thought it was. I mean, it was a very let him play the championship game.
Yeah,
game.
and I think like I said earlier, it just that hurt the 49ers more than it hurt the Chiefs. And there was calls that went both ways, good, bad.
Cowboys prima donnas.
But yeah, I mean,
Not George Kittle.
Hey,
George Kittle gave that
George Kittle just looks like he likes to party, bro. I'm telling you.
Like the party, yeah.
the next.
Well,
round.
and we were talking about before you got here, was it so much like the pass interference call, like, because you saw it earlier in the year with Kyle Rudolph, but is it Kittle actually create separation because we know he's a beast, or is it the linebacker, whoever was selling it? Maybe a little both, but I mean, good for both parties. I mean, good on the defender if he did that. He showed the separation.
Judgment call.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it just sucks that
I love the play, regardless.
it just sucks you think about like officiating in a game like this. And I think overall though, it was not as bad as it could have been. But it was about it was about what we saw all year. It was inconsistent, I thought, all the way across the board. Like sometimes they called things, sometimes they didn't. So, again, I think it hurt San Francisco. Am I glad that Kansas City won? Yes and no, similar to how you're feeling. Glad because AFC teams, so it's like, oh yeah, the AFC
Keeping the NFC, yeah.
AFC teams are better. Quote, I'm air quoting this.
Yeah, first time that franchise has been there. Well, second time in 50 years or whatever.
70s?
Yeah, so
70s.
that's how good the AFC teams are. Check and mate.
Oh,
Yeah, well, especially lately. As of lately.
Yeah. Unless you're historically the Steelers or the Patriots, there's at least 12 rings there.
at least 12.
12 out of 50. Or 55, 4.
Something like that. But yeah, I mean, so I air quote that the AFC teams were better this year, which
we were talking about. I'm not trying to be a dick about it. Like we did beat Kansas City, sure, without Mahomes, but the Packers defense that has been playing would have beat that Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes should not have been the MVP. He should have been Damian Williams.
True.
Pat Mahomes
Definitely
played
carried them.
ass.
Yeah.
true.
I don't care what the stats say. He played like ass, and if you don't agree, then you don't watch football.
Yeah, he
You
didn't
just
look
don't watch
good.
football enough to know, and you don't have an opinion. Been a lot of that.
He
Definitely
played well in
worst
the
game
fourth.
of the season.
He played well in the fourth quarter.
I was
That's about
told
it.
that I should be happy for Patrick Mahomes because he's a nice guy. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that clown. He's.
He's cool.
Who told you that?
I'm not gonna say. We don't name names.
Yeah, I
Like-
wish everybody could see my face. Like he's a nice guy. Like okay,
How
so
do you-
do I?
first of all, how do
like,
you know?
Dakota, you're a nice
Yeah.
guy. You should win. A
I do
Super
not
Bowl.
want you to
Watch
get more
this.
points than me when we play in basketball. Like against each other on the same team. I want you to get all of
I
them.
mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's terrible logic. I'm sorry. Hopefully they should subscribe to us so we can then give them.
That'll
juice.
never happen. I say fuck way too much in real life for them to ever do that.
He's
Fuck.
He's a nice guy. He deserves a Super Bowl.
I mean,
Oh wait. So not to be like super.
and put ketchup on steak. Like that's it. Like
So
One day I want to go back and listen to all the episodes where Robbie's mentioned he likes ketchup on steak. We should put a
I think it's
compilation
only like
together.
3.
That's funny. No, it's good, man.
no, but the thing is I said it before with Josh Allen's case. Like if they both throw the same pass on the same back foot, Mahomes is a legend. Allen's lucky to be playing in the league. Like,
Yeah.
Now Mahomes is gonna be like he's gonna be the greatest thing to ever happen to quarterbacks. Like, again, he's got people who can literally run at the speed of sound to catch up to balls. I'm not saying he can't play football.
Well, you
But-
put a good defense in front of him. What does he do? He throws 2 picks.
Yeah,
It's
oh,
like that.
bad ones too.
Like, and like not to
Bad picks.
like not because I don't really care, but like I never realized like he looked kind of like, and this I probably shouldn't even say this on the air, but he looked kind of gay to me. Like just walking around the way like I don't know.
he's very square. He's very square
Like, it was
chested. Like in the locker
Who?
room.
Pat Mahomes?
He like the way he was like carrying himself. It was so funny. Like I mean,
Well, here's the thing.
I don't care if he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
Here's
but-
the thing. Like I feel
He
like
just looks so funny.
when Pat Mahomes took that first L on that hit,
Right.
like when he popped right up, like there's no way he wasn't fucked up or that shit didn't hurt. Like he had to because if
50 hit him.
cause he had to. Now if he didn't, you might as like I was telling him before you came back down here, like you might as well just hand the ring over.
Yeah.
So maybe add some Connor swagger, but I don't know, man. Like
Did you
he's
see it though?
he's very
You-
blocky when he's in pads.
yeah,
Very
I don't-
square.
maybe it was that. It was the way he like held his hands, like that. He just kind of like didn't really do any. Like I don't know. It was just
And,
weird.
and speaking of hands, what is Kittle's celebration, by the way?
I don't-
Is he
Is it-
dropping a teabag in? I don't know what this is.
I don't know.
He gets
He's
first
playing
down.
cornhole. That's what he does.
Buckets.
You don't throw a cornhole this way, but cool.
He might. His fucking
You're right.
George
You're right. He might. But
Like the
no,
party.
yeah. The narrative on Pat Mahomes now is he's going to be
All
everywhere.
time.
The whole he broke the Madden curse. Like no,
I mean,
he got injured.
They're
Like
winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he won a title, but he got injured. Like that's
Yeah.
not you didn't break the Madden curse. You got injured.
The Madden curse has nothing to do with winning. I mean, it's you get hurt.
Yeah. Like
Damn.
I mean,
or you change teams, Brett Favre, to the Jets.
oh Jets.
Jets and Vikings, man. Or is
It was Jets then Vikings.
yep, that's
Because
correct.
he couldn't go Vikings. He wanted to go Vikings right
He
away.
hit the head then.
I don't. They. Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway,
Dante Culpepper.
that might be right.
Like
Yeah.
So
they might have been moved on from him.
yeah, that might be right. But yeah, no, and I think we had said it too. Least hype Super Bowl in some time because of the Kobe thing, which is understandable. But now I would say they did some things that I did like. The opening hype packages with The Rock. Like I just would like to put this in perspective because I liked that era of wrestling up until like early 2000s, like 16 or so. Like imagine being The Rock and being the best in the WWF when people aren't really watching it a whole lot and you're pushed and you are shown as the best and that's why people watch you. To go acting, to be in some okay movies. He did some good movies to start. Walking Tall is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I like that movie.
To now being the highest paid actor and now you're hyping up each team at the fucking Super Bowl. The man has done everything.
And D1 football player. I think
Yeah,
he played
Miami.
at Miami.
Yeah.
Like
The man has accomplished a lot.
He's done a lot of shit.
A fuckload of a lot. So
yeah, The Rock is pretty. He's
Rock is-
talented.
and he's got a whole Under Armour sponsorship and all that.
Yeah.
He shits money. Anyway, but he did overhype San Francisco. I felt like if you watch him back, like he oversold San Francisco a lot. I felt like.
See, I mean, if I was like, and this is what I told everybody. I picked the 49ers, but I was like, it's hard to bet again. Like, and I say this like after everything we said because I agree with just about everything. The whole Mahomes thing. and you say it's hard. Like
You saying he's dainty is probably a good word.
Yeah, but
dainty.
It's hard to bet against him. Just because, and it's not even betting against Mahomes. It's just he can get the ball, and he does a good job of getting the ball to any one of his like 7 speedsters. Like any one of like the top 5 receivers on the Chiefs would be probably the fastest or second fastest person on any other team's offense in the NFL. Like I can't think of anybody that has a faster core. So it's like, yeah, he has a great arm, like which is flashy. He does some cool things. Like he can run a little bit. I think that's gonna. I mean, obviously he showed he's probably gonna have to stop that.
Oh yeah,
otherwise, like
he's gonna get murdered.
He's not gonna hold up.
I think he's Lamar.
No.
Oh yeah.
Which props
Dakota brought that up, man.
Because Lamar did hold up. I mean, Lamar ran the ball.
People said that Mahomes should have been the MVP as well, not Lamar. I said, are you fucking joking?
Lamar.
People that say that, and the person who said that thing to me about Mahomes is like, look, you do not watch football. You don't have an opinion. You don't know what you're talking about.
So the most impressive thing about Lamar is he broke the record for rushing and still threw for, I believe, over 3,000 yards. I think it was close to. I think it was close to 4,000. I mean, he didn't go 5,000.
Look, we did 2019. Well, whatever, 2018, 2019
season. He won. That's all he did is win.
A lot. But 14-2.
Yeah.
Sure, they were 1 and done or whatever, but 14-2 from what the fuck ever they were the year before.
I mean, I think Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator there, does a great job scheming for the run. And I mean, if you know what you want to do and you can. It's hard to do defensively, but if you can stop it, because you know what's coming, if you can stop it, you play good sound defense, it's beatable. So he's going to have to learn how to throw in games like the playoffs. I mean, he's just going to have to learn how to do that. And so far, his first 2 years,
he's fundamentally flawed, man. Like there's so much stuff that they're letting him do because it's flashy, because he's got all this.
Because it works.
I mean, yeah, they have a good football team. Like,
yeah,
it's just like what Rodgers with our original 3, James Jones, Jordy, Cobb, like whoever you want to put in there. Devontae, Cobb, Jordy, like that offense was killer for a long ass time. I don't know why I got real twangy there when I said that, but for however long they're going to keep that unit together, they're going to look good. And when they start getting some people in there who are not so good, you're going to see maybe that some of the shit that he does is ignorant. But call me a hater, but listen, that franchise has 2 fucking titles. That man has 1 ring. Kansas City's not going to be relevant for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
he still has a lot to prove just as a quarterback.
Oh, I think their team. I mean, their team still has a lot to prove. I think like you said earlier, Damian Williams.
Well, obviously the 2 greatest tight ends in the league played against each other, and that's it. There's a significant gap from those 2 to everyone else, except for when Jay Sternberger comes this year, baby. Just wait. Just wait.
Get him in Zach Ertz.
I'm telling you. Have I been wrong this year? I'm just asking.
It depends on what week we're talking.
Any of the Packers stuff about the season, where we're going to end up, any of that players, any of that stuff. Have I been wrong yet? You can say no. It's okay.
Yes and no. I mean, I think you would go back on like before, like Lazard, for example. Yes, I love him. No, I hate him.
MVS maybe, but
MVS.
Okay, but what did I say anything about them? MVS ending up being like a prominent number 2, or say that he's going to be our franchise linebacker or anything like that?
I would just say I wouldn't say, and that's why I hesitate. I wouldn't say you were wrong on any players, but I think you were quick to be either. Mostly off the bandwagon.
Sold or off a player by then.
Dude, because Blake was so fucking up and down, dude.
MVS,
you don't know.
Yeah, those are probably the two hardest.
He's a good shot.
They gave you like hard ass games, and then they would give you shit. So it's really hard to know where they're at. It's really hard to measure.
He was like all for him and shit.
Dude, but because it's hard to measure someone when they're not consistent.
You weren't even like kinda.
It's like so hard to measure your players when they're not consistent. I can see. What was that?
That boomer bust factor. Especially offensively, like your wide receivers.
Well, you want to see him make plays.
Sure, but MVS only had a handful of games last year and a handful of plays because he wasn't utilized because he wasn't in rotation.
The drops this year.
That's the thing.
Maybe he needs more gloves.
I don't know what it is.
1 or 2 drops is worse than like
beating the safety and the corner on the first play of a game and you drop it, like you're fucking fired.
Right.
Yeah, that sucks.
So, but again, MVS was dead in the water after like week 4 anyway. So, but.
Super high on him after week 1, week 2 after week 2.
But it's different.
What's week 1 touchdown versus 1 drop? Like, come on. should be dropping him anyway.
I don't even know. I don't
Not
think
MVS specifically, but anybody who did that.
But if you have 5 touchdowns, you're catching at somewhat of a rate that you're getting looked at in scoring position.
Yeah,
MVS has 1 touchdown this whole fucking year, and he didn't catch a pass since like October 18th or whatever.
Plus drops.
And that's think about how much season there is from October to where it's fucking February.
It's a quarter of a year.
Thank you. Yeah. So my point is I can see on tape that Jace is a fucking matchup problem. Yeah. So he's coming. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Is it going to be the next Gronk? No, but
he has been playing Madden.
I mean, we
just really like him.
Listen,
that's also give him a hard time.
Listen, no,
you've been upgrading him every week.
You're right, but at the same time, it's proofs on the film, man. That's why we have. That's why you can watch it. Yeah. I know you're not. I just have to tell you about it.
No, Robbie's basing next season.
I do think though it'd be sad.
Hey, Madden usually they get their rankings pretty good.
That first of all, no, that's not what I said.
Yeah, he'll be good like that. He'll be touching the Vikings.
No,
playing with the Vikings. Oh,
but you also have to understand. I can evaluate tight end talent because we don't have any. Versus the stuff I can see. So I know.
I want that.
If you see that guy who's actually open, Aaron, I know why you're not throwing to him. You don't trust him. He's young, blah blah blah. But he's fucking open.
Nice option to have. I mean, all the best teams have a tight end like that.
It's nice to be excited for the future coming from the era I just left. Because every year it's the same bullshit. No free agency. Some draft picks that you want to believe in because old Ted, I mean, he picked some bangers. Don't get me wrong. He picked players that were good for 2 years. Eddie Lacy and Ha. Had some integrity problems with those guys on the front end.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I am more hopeful. That's why I said Green Bay can definitely go next year. If we get a number 2 receiver, free agency draft, we're going.
Yeah. So
the middle linebacker thing, I think, will get sorted out either with the first pick of the draft or the first free agency signing. I really think that what I've been reading is they're talking about Oren Burks because he's fast, and I just want to see what he can do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know he's been injured. I just want to see. But on kick returns, like he's first man down, usually getting the tackle. I have to believe he can get to the ball carrier, and he was a zone linebacker from Vanderbilt anyway.
Yeah, if you can tackle on special teams, that means you got to get around people. You got to move. You got to be able to shed blockers. You got to do a lot of the same things.
I just want to see what he can do. Like I just want him to have the same chance that we kept giving Blake Martinez when we really fucking should have been like, okay.
And you said Blake's a free agent this year, right?
Unrestricted.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is they even said
if you can sign him at a decent price, he's still like, and that's the thing.
But he's asking for $15 million a year. Fuck that.
Did you play like $15 million this
year?
No.
Fuck no, dude. The same people that get upset about Dak Prescott's franchise tag, I'm like, listen.
Khalil Mack's not worth $15 million.
Dak is a man, not the man. And say that again.
Khalil Mack's not worth $15 million. In the
not
way
last year.
Not last year for sure.
Like I'm just saying, like
I mean, the first year paid off. I mean,
the first year he fucked on everybody.
Yeah,
but I was so excited not to worry about him this year twice.
Hope he comes back. Hope he's going through a phase.
If you pay one position that much money, even the quarterback position, and that's why so many teams are winning with young quarterbacks because they're still on their rookie deals and they can afford to build around him. Right. If you spend all that money, and that's why I say Khalil Mack's a freak. He's a great. But if that's all you have, Aaron Donald, the same thing. Yep. If that's all you have on defense, you can stop that. You can triple block. You can double block. You can do some things.
It's interesting because, like you say that, in the league is now, not now, but like you'll see, like kind of with this Blake thing. Like Blake is good enough to get phone calls, but he is not so good that he's getting Bobby Wagner money.
No, absolutely.
You're gonna see that like players are gonna end up on teams where people are trying to build, but other teams like.
It also matters like who they're playing with. Like
that too.
He reminds me of Preston Brown. Used to play for the Bills. Like you're Blake Martinez, great tackling linebacker, great tackling middle linebacker,
great person for the franchise.
But what do you like as far as coverage? Like you're a 2-down linebacker. You're first and second down. Like when you play Tennessee or the Ravens.
Yeah, AJ Hawk was so much better than Blake Martinez, and people have been shitting on AJ Hawk. I'm like, you don't understand. Like. AJ Hawk was good all the time until like his last 2 years when he was significantly slower than everybody else on the field.
Yeah,
right. Like Blake Martinez cannot hold a fucking candle to AJ Hawk. I really wish he didn't wear 50. I'm not hating on him. Blake did great, and I was a fan of Blake. But still, it's just like
I remember.
But you also got to be real.
I'm not trying to get too caught up in numbers necessarily because they really don't matter to a certain degree. Like Brett Favre, Bart Starr, 100%. Reggie White, stuff like that. It's like when Deion was saying they let everybody in the hall now. It's like not special. Yeah. They're talking about Eli, and I understand like why they're saying that, but what has he done other than beat Tom Brady?
What kind of stat is beat Tom Brady? Like they can't
A
say, like,
fucking
hey,
good one, though.
you can't be like, hey, he beat
I
Tom
bet you-
Brady twice. Put him in
I bet
the
you
Hall of
Russell
Fame.
Wilson and Marshawn Lynch would.
Damn.
They're beating there right now. Yeah, like what can they do? Like
Damn.
that's all he did.
Why'd you have to say that? Well, Big Dick Nick can say it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right though. Yeah, it's so. But anyway, yeah, it's AJ Hopkins better, and we definitely need middle linebacker support and wide receiver too, and I think we can get it done. So,
Word.
We'll see.
get some D line help for Kenny Clark too.
Close to the draft.
What do the Bears need?
I think the most important thing we need right now is a cornerback.
Corner,
Corner.
not Corder.
Man,
Mukamara, yeah.
garbage.
Him and haha getting out of there.
Prince.
That's-
Hey man, he said I've had 1 year, haha, and I've had.
I mean, they gave him 1 year. He only needed 1 year.
You don't even think he's coming back? Have they said anything?
They said that it could go either way, but
It
it's not,
could
like,
go either way.
they're not saying that they
They're
want
they're
to
gonna
resign
lowball him
him.
and he's gonna leave. Is what's gonna happen?
They're like good riddance.
What's
So, yeah,
that
they mentioned how they were looking at Jimmy Ward to see if he goes into free agency from the 49ers and probably going to draft a corner with that second round pick. So, yeah. I don't know. I'll see.
These guys are gonna be able to get some money. It's just like
yeah.
the problem is like figuring out what you have to know your market. You have to know your value. Like, okay, hey, if the Bears are willing to pay you, we'll say $1 million, and everyone else is like, that's too high.
You need
Like-
to take that 1 million. That's what I'm saying. If Blake thinks he's worth 15 and circling around back to the Dak thing, and people are upset about the franchise tag. It's like, look, Dak did play good, but he did not play 30 million a year good. If he played 30 million a year good, they would have
They're
been
not
in the
8 and 8.
fucking playoffs.
They're not 8-8 if he.
That's what I'm. That
Yeah.
people don't understand that argument. Why?
Like
Why not understand that logic? Like,
It's
there's
everything that Dallas values. It's flashy. It's it's that cool.
That shit got Tom
let
Brady,
me,
yeah.
let me throw it around. But at the end of the day,
Like
like
he was pulling up in his mega yacht to the Super Bowl.
cool dude. Like
But yeah, like no, 30 million. And what fucking team is going to give him that? Show me a team right now that will give Dak Prescott $30 million.
Cowboys.
I mean, maybe, but let's like that's the whole argument is if he's worth that much, they're not 8-8, and then they're. I mean, granted, we talk about Rodgers' last contract was ridiculous, but it's like, look, Rodgers also 13-3.
Yeah.
So
And
significant difference.
at that point, he also had a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, and we didn't even need to throw the ball on y'all because Aaron Jones ran in 3 touchdowns. So there's another problem. Your defensive line is trash.
Yeah.
So your zone run defense is garbage.
Yeah, they.
Our zone run was shit that day.
Jerry hasn't known a deal that he hasn't been able to get done. So
Basically,
I mean, 30 million for Dak is steep.
30 million a year, 15 million for Blake, and I'm just like, dude, you just have not done enough.
What's the middle of the road quarterbacks now, or what? 15 to 18 million.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Blake money, Blake what he wants should be Dak's contract.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'd go as high as be.
You could
Dak's
you
worth
have to
20.
max him, dude. You could give him a 2-year like.
Yeah,
You can extend him for however long or shorter period of time you want.
yeah. I don't know. It's
If Dallas truly believes that's their franchise quarterback, then they're fucking insane.
I don't think they do. Like it's just.
And that's the other point in the tag too.
They
And
just
people,
don't want to look like they're regretting
people
it.
forget that it's a performance-based industry, and that's like I said, I said it today. One of our reps, a super cool guy, came in, and he was talking to me about the Super Bowl. He's a Bears fan, I think. Yes.
Oh.
Like,
Yes.
I sympathize for you. I know a Bears fan. Is that what you say?
But anyway,
I don't have time for shit talking today.
no, I don't. But anyway, so he comes in. We were talking about the Super Bowl, and totally lost my train of thought because I was trying to remember what fucking team he liked. So I'm about
It's
to
all
circle
good.
back around this story later
Not bad.
because I was going to talk about whatever the fuck we just transitioned to. And I already forgot.
It's all good.
I really hate myself.
That's all
I
right.
hate when that happens.
It's all good.
Damn, you forgot that quickly.
Dude, because I was trying to think of what team he
I was
liked. So I
still,
didn't
like,
want to be
tuned
wrong.
In case he gets that listen.
So anyway,
Okay, and
right. So the franchise tag is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the other thing is to develop under that.
Yeah, I mean,
Like that's the other part.
it was designed to be beneficial for the team.
Yeah.
As well as for the player, because you're getting money that you're probably not gonna get free agency.
No.
Right.
And it's for a 1 year. Like, okay, so if anything happens to you, a la you get hurt, which I don't know of
That's-
any.
I mean now, and that's
I
a
don't know of
slant
anybody
anybody
that's
to
really-
look at it.
I don't know of anybody that's really gotten like career-ending injury
On a franchise
on
tag?
a franchise tag. I can't. I mean, I know it's happened, but
That'd
I
be an
can't.
interesting stat to look up.
I can't think of anybody. So it's like, okay, so you know,
They did. They weren't good enough to remember.
yeah. I mean,
And there was the point of the franchise tag. There we are.
but like you look at like Bell sitting out because he got franchised and all that, like and not getting the guaranteed money, and it's like the franchise tag is guaranteed money. You sign it, you play, you're good.
Here's the other thing too: is they signed DeMarcus Lawrence. It's like you know what you're getting with DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're getting with Dak Prescott.
No, not at all.
You're either going to get what you got last year or an 8-8 season.
And you still got to pay Zeke. You got to look at paying
And
Amari.
You're 100% paying Zeke for Dak. I'm sorry. There's a significant skill gap between those two dudes on the same team.
You have a top 3 at worst back.
At worst, you're the third back in the league.
Like, I mean, seriously, and I'm not a huge
Just to put that in a
Cowboys fan.
sentence.
Like, and then you have a quarterback that is probably average to slightly above average. I mean, I'm not going to say he's a bad quarterback, but he's average. I mean
middle of the road Dak.
I mean, yeah, he's middle of the road.
We're obviously
Here we go. Fuck.
Who's better, Mitch or Dak?
Fundamentally,
Hard to say. So this is tough. I think
Because we're talking about comparing. I just want to see what the middle of the road is, so I can understand.
so. Here,
Our
he said he can't.
our
relate to
listeners can
Feather
understand better the measuring stick.
so
with the ring every quarterback right now.
They just said we had to listen through Robbie forget a whole fucking point. And
dang. Okay. So this is tough. So I think Dak definitely has more weapons around him. He has a better running back. He has a better offensive line. Receivers, I think that's a push. I mean, I think
definitely got something in Coop if they keep him.
Yeah, I think Amari is better, but I think the general talent around Mitch, as far as receiver corps, I think is a little bit better than just one singular person. So I mean, I give the edge
more
to
weapons, but not.
Let me tell you,
that
who's
one
free
weapon.
agency.
Yeah.
Robbie
Yeah.
doesn't think Allen Robinson's number one.
He's number one on your team, but he's not number one in my opinion around the league.
You said he would if he came to Green Bay. You did say it.
I said Rodgers would have made him into one, is what I said.
Oh.
So first of all,
Okay.
I said
sure.
Rodgers could make him into one.
I think
Mitch making him into number one's a different story.
For me,
He's done his job.
I think Mitch has a higher ceiling potentially because but consistency, I'd have to give it to Dak, honestly.
Consistency, I understand. But I
Like
mean-
if Mitch
Now this is where you get to the tick for tacky part is the consistency to the offensive line, and then away you go.
yeah, so I mean, right now, given their careers, like you have to go, like you pretty much have to go.
They've both been to the
Dak.
playoffs. They've both lost in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, just based off that, they're the same.
Yeah, I mean they're very like it's not a.
I mean, they're different kinds of players.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying if you're just looking at like one
Right.
versus the other, they've accomplished about the same amount of stuff.
I mean it's just tough all the way around. I think Mitch could be good, great.
Let's hope so.
Not in this
I mean,
division, homie.
Dak,
Not while I'm still living and breathing as a Packers fan.
Dak again, good.
And not long
Can
as
he
the cheese is on his
great?
head.
I'm just not sold on Dak. Like I think even when he first came out, like it was kind of an accident he started because I mean Tony Romo was going to play, and he was he broke his like clavicle or whatever, and Dak did well. Again, it's really easy to hand the ball to Zeke, and I'm not saying that's all he did, but it's
But Zeke was a man,
I mean still is.
Unit.
grown ass one.
I mean he barely fits into his helmet. Cheeks be puffing out. You see him, he's like, dang, coming hot.
It's a mad chipmunk running through.
Yeah.
He's hungry.
Feed me.
But yeah.
But yeah. So,
But yeah,
but yeah, neither of those dudes are anywhere in the realm of asking for $30 million a year.
and to be fair, like I would say that my guy Josh, like no better than either of them. I think I'd probably take. I mean, I think
got to the playoffs though.
yeah, no. I'm not. I'm saying
Welcome.
like as far as if you're looking at
You're welcome.
consistency, I would rather have Josh than those two. But like I think when you're actually talking about like middle of the road quarterbacks, I think Josh is right there right now. He's at a crossroads, just like Mitch.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in Dak's
Next
still
season is going to tell a lot for both everybody.
yeah,
I think.
and Dak's
Well,
still young,
and
too.
Aaron included in that when I was texting you all about my like Green Bay can be successful and win a Super Bowl next season because Rodgers is where Brett Favre was.
Yeah.
And he hasn't shown signs of it because like we got Matt LaFleur, they have great chemistry, like the team is really together. Obviously people Rodgers says one thing about religion, and oh god, we gotta do this, and then we gotta talk about his family. Like, I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't care. I don't care if he goes home, makes out with 50 dudes and 50 women or whatever. Like, I really don't care. Can he throw 45 touchdowns in a year and 4 picks? Awesome. If that's what's helping him, I don't care. But like, if he's gonna be a bitter old man and not help embrace change in terms of like, okay, we're gonna start the younger guys. They might be unproven in Aaron Rodgers' eyes, but they're not unproven in this facet. And that, I don't think that's going to happen, but that's something I'm just wary of.
I think you saw it.
I've seen it happen.
I think you saw it this year, like in that he's going to embrace the youth.
Yeah, he's definitely invested. But I'm just saying, just to make the point, this is why Green Bay won't be successful. I think this is the only reason why we won't be, unless obviously we don't hit the draft.
The question will be, when does Green Bay look for the heir apparent?
Right.
And that's kind of
really hard because we talked about you can't really sit quarterbacks that are super talented these days. Like Rodgers, if Rodgers got drafted now, he would not be sitting for 4 years. He would be playing within 2.
Yeah, right. Have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the only thing that makes him potentially an exception to the rule, I don't think they were really looking for a quarterback in that draft. I think it was just true best player available, and he dropped so much because it was
the reason I only argue just because of all the stuff that's out there about like what Ted Thompson like knew what he was looking at, and obviously you don't know he's going to be that great, but you knew that.
Yeah.
So whatever the diamond in his eye or whatever you want to say, something.
The twinkle.
But they didn't trade up for him, did they?
No, because he's still sitting there.
He's still sitting there. What, 16?
Yeah, when he sat until 24.
24. Yeah, I mean, so you got a guy that's at the top of like not just
But you can take
Mel Kiper.
He was in the community college.
Yep.
Then he went to Cal.
Yep.
So
had a non-traditional release point. I mean, his mechanics weren't like
but he wasn't fundamentally awful like Patrick Mahomes is.
Yeah, no. But I'm just saying, like, if you put this guy and you have a rank or you have a grade on him where he is in the top 5. And you're sitting at 24, and he's
at Green Bay's top 5.
Yeah, at Green Bay's top 5 in every draft board. I mean, if you listen and you say
breaking it down from that perspective, I see what you're saying.
Like, of course, I'm taking him. Like best player available.
It's really hard to think back to that draft and what we really needed.
Yeah. To me,
so it's really
especially at the quarterback position, I think, and that makes it even that much more like okay, like we know we have Brett Favre. He's great. He's tail end of his prime right now, like, but he's still serviceable. Could we have used that pick?
We had one more potential like championship run with him, and then we lost by a field goal to the Giants on Eli's first ring, I think.
Yeah.
That if that's right, that'd be fucking insane. That the 2 times Green Bay lost to the Giants in the playoffs were to when Eli won the Super Bowl.
That's funny.
Holy fuck!
So then, if you say like, "Oh, Eli's
he's a Green Bay destroyer,
a Tom killer," then Green Bay is
a Tom killer and cheese grater at the same time. I'm so sad that Dakota had to step out to get a drink to miss that.
That could be the episode title.
That's definitely the episode title. He's not even here to. He's not even here to hear.
All right, Dakota, you got outvoted.
Holy shit! Oh my god! But when you break it down that way,
like so, I mean,
that sucks.
At that position too, like quarterback is the most valuable position on the football field in most franchises. You're at 24, getting a top 5 talent in that draft. I don't remember the draft much besides Alex Smith and Aaron Rodgers.
That was the big thing.
I mean, but time will say. I mean, time's
obviously told at this point that Rodgers was the better choice between the two. And you can say what you want, and obviously the memes about Rodgers not beating San Francisco and they'll be sorry, but that's the chip that he carries to motivate him.
I mean, Alex Smith isn't in San Francisco right now.
Yeah, and it is a fact. Yeah, exactly. Alex Smith is not in San Francisco. I mean, unfortunately, Alex Smith isn't even playing.
Yeah.
But let's just say he never got hurt. Alex Smith is playing for the Redskins.
Yeah.
So.
Well, here's the other thing that I've thought about. And, would Aaron Rodgers have been Aaron Rodgers if he got drafted number 1? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows, right?
I do think, though, that if the roles were reversed, Alex Smith has a better career because Alex
comes from Brett Favre.
Well, not even that.
You're not swapping picks like that.
You can't. I mean, you can't. But I think he has a better start to his career because he has more around him, and that's the art. Like Green Bay was a complete team
at that point. Yeah,
San Francisco was shit.
Yep.
I mean, back then. And I mean,
It's gotta suck to be the first piece of a rebuild.
yeah. So you take your lumps, and
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. That's
Looking forward to it.
Oh, are you talking to those Bengals fans, or are you trying to get that pick?
Bengals fans, I'm good. Thank you for Lawrence. It's okay.
But yeah, so it's just tough to think about it like that. It's because it's not fair to anybody's career to be like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is only good because of this, and that's not true. He has to have his own work ethic. He does have his own work ethic, and obviously, like you can't have the career that Aaron Rodgers has had without being dedicated, without having some skill, a lot of skill.
Suck to learn under Brett Favre.
Yeah, and it actually might have sucked.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Because
Bitter old man. Yeah.
I mean, Brett was not embracing
Change, just like I was just saying.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just interesting to see, but
I mean, obviously, people that are athletes, they never want to retire because that's all they've had for.
Oh no!
And then once they retire, that it's just gone.
Right.
And some people embrace retirement more so than others. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think as long as you guys have a healthy Aaron Rodgers, you guys will have a chance. I think it's tough to say one way or another, like, oh, right now you're going to the Super Bowl. Love the optimism. Love it.
Listen, I just want this is my biggest argument. Look, we got shit on by San Francisco. That's not debatable. Look how far and look how much we did with not almost nothing, but with significant pieces missing. What's going to happen when we get those pieces in? We're going to fucking win. It's just what's going to happen.
You heard it here first.
He's so excited.
I
love the passion.
You don't know how long it's been since I've been this excited for postseason. It's been a long time.
Oh yeah, no,
a very long time.
Trust me, I understand. Bill,
Jared knows.
I know how you feel.
Jared backing up that one comment.
One comment for the entire 12.
Shout out every week, Jared. Oh yeah, did you see the episode title last week? Did you pay attention to it? Dakota came with that.
What is it, Mozart?
Mozart, wasn't that pretty good?
Yeah,
Pretty
I liked it.
classy. Yeah, you missed the episode title, so you're actually going to have to go back and listen this week.
Yeah.
Wait, for this one? Oh, damn it.
Magical.
Look for it.
It was good.
Magical?
Can't recreate it.
That'd be forced comedy. We're not about that.
I think the upload title.
You'll see that too. So then you'll figure it out. But the context was great.
I believe it. Can't wait.
That's
Get on that.
Exactly.
As soon as it's over.
One less like.
Example. But anyway, so you said you're missing a what? That's what you left off with.
From the positions we need.
Draft.
I think corner
obviously
is
it's
for
for
sure.
linebacker, wide receiver too.
Yeah, I think corner for sure.
Corner.
One middle linebacker receiver.
Yeah, middle linebacker, receiver, and D line. So you can't
I'd say for being realistic, corner for sure, and maybe a tight end.
If we took a tight end, I wouldn't be surprised. But I want to see Jace play.
Yeah.
If not, then a middle linebacker replacement for Trevathan probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I would like to see
re-signing everything.
Get lost in free agency so we could pick him up.
I want him to stay.
That dude-
Trevathan can go.
Nah, if we get, I don't think we'd go after Trevathan. There's a lot of good for decently play middle linebackers out there this year in free agency.
What do you guys have cap space wise? Anything?
See, I can't answer that because we're cutting Jimmy Graham. It's all but basically known, so that adds 8. And I would like to see us walk away from Lane Taylor. So I don't know how much that's going to free up. Tremont, I don't know. Like I want him to play, but because he played so well. But it's one of those things, man. It's like, you don't know. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
So I will let you know, like in the spring.
When not too 100% anything other than I guess Abu Kamara going, hopefully they want, and then now looking at I don't know, Jimmy Ward or even Kendall Fuller for the opposite corner. Those are 2 in case they go to free agency. So see how that goes. Kendall and Kyle. Chemistry.
You don't need there, Justin.
I'd like to see so everybody says wide receiver. I think we definitely
AJ Brown, right? No.
AJ Brown is Tennessee. Everybody says wide receiver. I think we have John Brown and Cole Beasley. There are 1 and 2 guys. I think we do need some help at the wide receiver position, but we're picking 22, and I think depending on what falls there, we'll
BPA.
Hopefully, we will go best player available. I'm hoping that an outside linebacker, just a stud, is there at 22, and that's usually like
Buffalo's Zadarius Smith.
Well, no. I mean, we already have Tre'Davious, we have Edmonds, one of the Edmonds brothers. We have Matt Milano, who's our cover backer. Lorenzo was kind of he could rush the passer. He could he could blitz, he could tackle, he could kind of do it all. He retired, so obviously we're going to have a gap there. If the best player available in the draft is an outside linebacker that can blitz, like, love it. I think it's a great fit. If this draft has a ton of receiver talent, so I think we can find what we're looking for, a little bit later in the draft. The other thing is, if, like, say the number 2 or number 3 corner falls to 22, imagine that. Like, you have 2 number 1 draft picks around 20. I think Trey was 21.
Well, Giant really didn't fall. We just kind of stole him.
But, you pick Trey up at 21. Like, we've done well with an undrafted free agent, like, on the other side from Alabama. And Levi Wallace has done a great job. But you get another stud corner, like, that automatically makes your team that much better. Like, our defense is strong, but if you continue to add pieces to your defense that it already is, like, super successful. Like, I mean, our offense has done a lot, so growth, from the wide receiver position is going to be huge. Our tight ends, we have 2 young tight ends and a veteran kind of there. As far as pass catchers, all 3 of them can do a little bit of everything. So, I mean, we're good there. I think from a back standpoint, Singletary is legit. I'm okay if we move on from Frank Gore, because I think, and call me crazy, but I think TJ Yeldon still has something in the tank as a pass catching, kind of a different style back, a little bit bigger. Singletary's like 5'8", 5'9", 225, and TJ Yeldon
bowling ball.
I mean, he legit is. And Yeldon's he's like 6'1", I think, at 225, like around the same weight. So,
Alabama products every time.
But
can't do them.
I mean, it's just
Hate
like,
to see it.
and then we also have Christian Wade on the practice squad, who's the rugby player that did so well.
That's right.
Like, 2 touches in the preseason, and he was
smoked
like
everybody.
Like 65 yard was his first touch, like untouched, and then just depth on our offensive line. That
Hey, who got a ring last night? Shady
did, yeah.
What
Inactive.
the fuck?
Does it count if you're inactive?
Yeah, if you're on the roster. Yeah,
I know it counts.
I'm about like, damn.
So I mean, much
Well,
less.
that's all
I mean,
we
here's
just
the thing:
getting-
is
we just
like,
getting one. He didn't win
it's
one.
one of those rings. It's like you are a champion because you were on that roster, but you are not a champion. You didn't play, but he also has been
Shady,
a great player.
Shady deserves it. Like,
So-
I have nothing but love for Shady. I think this might be his perfect opportunity to retire.
They're on top, dude.
I mean, he kind of goes out at, is he a Hall of Famer? I think he's questionable as far as number of
He won a
yards.
championship on inactive, so now
Yeah,
we can shut that. We can shut that one down.
bless you. I mean, but if he is a Hall of Famer, he'll be kind of that like last ballot type guy, like last time. Like, I don't think he'll be a first round or first.
Charles Woodson can get on it next year. He better go. He better.
You think
1,000.
first rounder, first ballot?
Hey, listen, this is Deion. Listen, Deion said
He
did
loves
say
him.
this. I do,
He loves them.
but Deion did say it like there have to players you don't have to think about that should go.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. He did
We
say
totally-
that. But
we-
yeah,
we
players
do
you don't
have
think
parts.
about like Barry Sanders, Deion, Tony Gonzalez, like players that changed it. Charles Woodson was a savage every single time that he played, so he's 100% going. He can zone and man to man.
You're all right, I guess. I mean,
But
who you play for?
Who's that guy again?
for the Raiders twice, we got a championship with us. Broke records with us. Defensive records, pick sixes. Yeah, most pick sixes in history, man. What? Come on.
Wasn't that Ed Reed?
No, you fucking idiot. No, it's not. I'm
Laughing at
telling you
Ed
right
Reed.
now. Ed Reed was amazing though.
I'm just
So
Ed Reed, going back to the U, by the way. Do you see that this week? He's gonna be the U. Yeah, he's coming back, doing some sort of role with the football team.
Oh
I thought, oh boy.
Have you seen the Aaron Hernandez documentary yet? Have you seen?
I haven't watched the last episode.
I've seen parts of it.
We can at least comment on the first 2 parts. If we're done talking about regular football,
Yeah, it's all good.
I mean, we can go through it.
This
It's
is still
shit.
football. It's just
Fuck
hard.
yeah.
It's just hard.
But dude, that shit is wild, ain't it?
Yeah, like it puts things into perspective. Like,
I really wish they commented more on the CTE because they really didn't.
why did they get the results back yet though?
Well,
Because they said they're having his brain,
well now, but like still, they, mean, that's a fair argument, but like, I felt like he killed that first dude. I feel that way 100%. He killed
Lloyd,
that
the sister's
first.
fiance.
Yeah.
Right,
The
for sure.
second one, it's
Well, they said he was super paranoid too. Like, maybe there is something when he was.
I mean, with drugs make you paranoid. I mean,
yeah, I mean they can, but also killing somebody in college probably makes you
probably.
paranoid.
But
Yeah.
again, like that whole culture, like when they told that story about him and Tim Tebow at that bar, and he punched that dude, and it just was like, no, this is. When you look at the 08 Gators, the 08 Gators were fucking hard.
The whole
The
team.
Pouncey
The
brothers.
08 Gators were fucking hard as shit.
The Pouncey brothers, like that, literally this year still like curbs. Like you saw it in action this year. Like what was it?
Urban
Marquise
Meyer was recruited from one neighborhood only.
Dude,
Yeah.
he was.
Gangsta Land.
Dude, he wanted
And he won shit.
And he got it. He got
Like,
it with
they
that
had
group.
all that in Jesus with them, basically.
Yeah, how does that work in a locker room? Like I
That
wonder
dynamic is
Tim
wild,
Tebow's
dude.
assistant coach.
I wonder what Tebow would say about that team. Like legit. Because
He loved them.
he's
He
the-
probably loved them.
he's the quarterback.
It's really,
He knows.
I really want Tebow to like.
I need a Tebow
It's really.
documentary.
I don't want to say I don't want to say to not be himself because obviously he's very deep in his religion. But it's like, no, seriously, I really want you to say like what the fuck was going on because
we know
I
Urban's
just want
line.
to qualify to you who you have.
We
on
know
your team.
Urban's line.
Yeah, I just want to let you know.
Urban's on the way to that next job.
Dude, yeah, but no, the homosexuality stuff, like I felt like they didn't blow it up too much. The quarterback thing, his high school quarterback thing is the one where I watched the Michael Jackson thing back during the summer. It's like, look, if someone calls me for a paycheck, like you have to really coach me on how to lie that in depth.
Yeah, I don't want to say I don't buy it because it very well could be.
It does make a lot of sense in terms of I told Brittany, like being married and maybe not telling your spouse that, and maybe that can drive like anger.
It makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
mentally.
It's definitely not plausible. Put it that way.
I mean, it could happen.
I don't think it's a big reason why. Though.
I think
that's.
and they said he wasn't like straight up gay. I think they said he was bi.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
But whatever. It's the same thing. We've said it 1,000 times. So.
Yeah, but still, so it's like but there's always players that you can recruit them out of these bad neighborhoods and these bad lifestyles. And his home life, I did not
from a bad neighborhood like most people thought.
His home life like was
Well, he got abused as a
not
kid.
great. Yeah.
Like, so I mean,
and then his mom was like
cheating
with his uncle or what.
on-
That
That's
when
what
they
was
got
the
to
boiling
that
point. I
shit,
think.
I was like, dude.
That was the pushing point.
Yeah, I was
and
like,
and the head stuff.
that explains why he was such a fucking man.
Right after his dad died,
Like,
come
on
on.
the hill, dude. Yeah, that too.
yeah.
But-
So I mean, like in most of the me and my wife watch mostly. I'm sure you watch a bunch of these documentaries with Brittany about like murder and
I told you, we love that stuff.
Yeah.
The only one that I don't like to watch at night is the I Am a Killer ones because they're just like so visceral. Right when I'm going to sleep.
Are those the ones that they say like it's like death row and we've been watching those too, and it's like if you listen to most of those stories, like these kids don't have a chance.
Nope.
And Aaron Hernandez is one of those kids. He did not have a chance.
It's sad, but like life is crazy, and that's the thing is like, and the other part too that maybe I don't buy in is him telling Belichick trade me because I'm fearful for my life or whatever. Like I don't believe that because I really feel like Belichick is more of a person to be like, look,
I'm gonna get you. Like
he's gonna try to fix it first.
I already have Gronk.
Right.
Like I'm gonna be
He
able
would
to
have traded him in a minute though, because anybody would have taken him. Anybody would have fucking taken him.
Right.
Like,
You could have got
wasn't. I
that
saw those in
point-
the comments. Like people were like, "Well, they just wanted rings." Like, listen,
You could have gotten
fucking
two.
understand who else they had.
You could have 2 first rounders. Like
Aaron Hernandez and Gronk on the same team.
you could
Yeah.
you could have
He
traded
caught a
extra
touchdown. He
receivers.
caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl that
You
they
could-
lost.
Let's see. You probably
It's so-
could have got.
Open the safe with the money.
You probably could have got your pick of almost any receiver in the league and a draft pick, like for Hernandez, because of that. That's how much of a nightmare matchup nightmare.
Did
he
they
was.
have Moss at the time?
I think Moss was before both of them because Moss he was only there 2 years.
Yeah, when that long.
Yeah, and it was like I want to say it was early. It was before 10, wasn't it?
Maybe.
It was like I want to say it was the 08 season. I want to say
Yeah. Well, because Aaron Hernandez would have been on the team in 08 in Florida, so
No way.
but yeah, like that was one comment that I saw was like he didn't want to trade him because owners and coaches are greedy. I'm like, no. Belichick already knows how to win with like nobody.
Yep.
And they didn't need him. He would have gladly traded him and got who was the best receiver?
2007.
2007
through to 2010.
So who was the best receiver in 2010? Who was the number one receiver
For
in the NFL?
I mean, if Randy Moss was in the NFL, like he was the best. I mean,
In 2010?
not statistically, but
Just type in best NFL receiver 2010, just so that way
Probably San Antonio Holmes
we
or
can
something.
say if they would have shipped off Aaron Hernandez, who they could have had.
Yeah. That was the Steelers' year, wasn't it? One of them.
We won, yeah. But I mean, I don't think I
Well, a
wouldn't
good
put
year for him though.
I wouldn't put Greg Jennings at number one receiver probably in any ranking ever.
you got Larry Fitz, Calvin Johnson.
CJJ, there we go. So the Patriots could have traded for Calvin fucking Johnson with Aaron Hernandez, and then it would have been over for the league for God knows how long.
Yeah.
So you had Larry Fitz, Calvin Johnson, Deshaun Jackson, Andre Johnson, Brandon Marshall, Steve Smith, Reggie Wayne,
Marshall,
Antoine Bolden,
Hard
Mike
times.
Wallace, Roddy White, Greg Jennings, Des Bryant, Marquise Colson, Hakeem Nicks. Wow.
Yeah, this one from that list, but was in it next year. Jordy Nelson.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or should we look up 2011 just to see?
Yeah, just to see, just from Robbie.
We went 15-1 in 2011, so go ahead. But James Jones was
I'm
actually number one.
trying to think who would have been a great.
James Jones was number one receiver in 2011. He led the league in touchdowns at least.
James Jones.
James Jones.
So you got 2011.
Touchdown leaders.
Julio Jones, Brandon Marshall, AJ Green, Larry Fitz,
This in order.
Deshaun. Yeah, this is just what they said. Jordy Nelson is on there.
So
Uh,
that was right.
Greg Jennings, Dez, Steve Smith, Roddy White, Michael Crabtree,
Maybe it wasn't 2011. Maybe it was 20 when he came back.
Santonio Holmes, Sidney Rice, Chad, James Jones. He was at the bottom of that, but yeah. He was just ahead of Chad.
But all three of our receivers were on there.
Was Greg Jennings with you guys then?
2011? If he was in Minnesota, he won't on anybody.
Who was your third one? Because you got Jordy.
We drafted Cobb in 2010.
Oh, Cobb wasn't on the list. But, I mean, he was still good.
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to find out the year that anyway, the year that James Jones led the league. I thought it was the year that we went 15-1. It might have been the year that he came back in 2015. That actually sounds more right. I'm sorry.
Andre Johnson would have been a great Patriot fit. I think
Oh,
Reggie Wayne would have been a Patriot kind of guy.
been a young Reggie Wayne then.
Like, I'm trying to think who else. Like,
Roddy White.
he could have been a Patriot guy. Like, I mean, just like one of those guys you don't really hear too much about. Like, Marquise Colston, maybe Greg Jennings.
Antoine
No.
Bolden, still a gangster then.
Antoine Bolden was a tight end that could catch.
A lot.
He was like a little bit faster.
His wingspan was like a 2-car garage or some bullshit like that. They were saying like if he has to like dive out, like how much area he can cover was like a 2-car garage.
I mean,
So-
I'm sure Larry Fitzgerald's like that still.
But anyway, so the Patriots would have been fucking gnarly had they shipped off Aaron Hernandez. Is the point of that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so they didn't need to, and it's sad because, I mean, obviously people lost their lives, but it's like sad being a football fan. It's like stuff that like that real world stuff that happens. Kind of like we were talking about the Myles Garrett thing that was way back. It's like people actually beating the shit out of each other when they're not supposed to be beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Just not right.
Yeah.
So
It's not good.
Which I have not heard anything on Myles Garrett. I wonder when we will hear.
Well, I
If
thought I
they
saw he was at the fight.
do what?
He was at the fight.
That's
He was
right.
beside Baker
Oh my
Mayfield.
god! And
Yeah,
they did
they
not give a
didn't
fuck about Baker
He
Mayfield.
was dressed
I
up
think
that
I
well.
have yeah, hold on. I'm gonna go back.
So it was showing everybody who was in attendance.
Did you see there's a clip on ESPN? I was looking at my app this week, and Baker comes face to face with Rex. It was just funny, like that. Rex Ryan is the one that's like, oh yeah, you know. He's like, yeah, I called you out on all this stuff, and Baker's like, kind of. It's like when Rex is the voice of reason. That's bad.
They got to work on Baker.
Yeah, And I couldn't help think he was wearing like a low cut V-neck shirt, and
Hilarious.
he was like
Super
super
big.
hairy.
Okay.
Like it was,
All right, Bake.
I was just like, all right,
He's
dude.
got a business meeting on his yacht at 6. That's how he dresses.
Gotta be honest.
But yeah, that video was funny though.
Yeah, look at
I'm
this.
just finding it.
They did not. They thought they probably like somebody Indiana Jones
like huge-
cosplaying, bro. They did not give a fuck about Baker.
Like hipster Hugh
Look
Jackman.
how almost cropped out he is in real time. They only looked at Myles Garrett. They didn't put up and Baker
The
Mayfield.
camera didn't notice Baker.
It just says
Miles Garrett.
Yeah, just says Myles
he was
Garrett.
dressed that well.
Learning some
And it
moves for next year.
says number 1 overall pick in 2017, and Baker's like, oh shit, hold on.
2018.
Look at him.
Look at him.
His beard looks drawn on.
It really does look like
Looks
pencil,
like-
dude.
Yeah.
That graphite ass.
He's definitely like he looks like hipster Hugh Jackman.
So was Garrett trying to figure out like how to kill somebody without a helmet?
Yeah, Garrett did
for
look like
next
he'd been
year.
hiding for a couple of days in that. like yeah, we
What
filmed
fight
him.
was that?
I was Cowboy and Connor.
That was?
Yeah.
Damn, I've downloaded a lot of shit on my phone in that time span. Holy
It
crap.
was short.
But remember, who was the fighter? Was it Great? Who? Not the fighter. Who was the NFL guy? Hardy.
Yeah.
Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy.
Yeah. Greg Hardy has slept a couple people, but he's really bad.
No. Imagine Myles Garrett.
And Greg Hardy fighting each other.
Like, just in like in any like MMA.
Myles
you have,
Garrett got that ass.
like, oh yeah, dude.
Myles Garrett's a tank.
Like he's deep, but
Yeah.
like Hardy wasn't even in his prime. Like, he was like out of football for a while. Like,
Good.
I mean,
If that was a talent.
Yeah.
but didn't he
All
got
right.
wrecked the one
Yeah.
time?
It's our,
Didn't he?
it's our league.
Kareem Hunt.
Like he got wrecked.
That
Like
was-
his
yeah.
first like what 2 fights he owned some people,
Yeah, he slept people hard.
and then like after that, like people just
He got an inhaler cage side.
Greg Hardy, this isn't the NFL, man. You don't you
That
can't
right, like
you can't take a
Greg
break.
Hardy-
Tank. Yeah.
He did that?
Yeah, he did well for like a little bit.
I think Greg Hardy would fight Draymond Green.
Wow. Dream.
Draymond.
I-
I want to see Draymond fight at least once.
Yeah.
Look at him. Doesn't gotta be against Greg Hardy, but I don't know.
Just somebody. Just fight Steph.
Okay.
Steph.
He's gonna,
I bet you his
he's gonna
wingspan
fight
is
Steve
like,
Kerr soon.
Draymond could fight Steph for Aisha.
It'd be worth it. Like, would you do it?
No, because she has to talk to me.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Will Steph even defend himself?
Uh,
It's like, you got it.
oh gosh.
Yeah.
anyway, we just bagged on like one of the nicer guys in the NBA for no reason, and his wife.
All right.
He's never gonna hear this.
If he does, yeah,
Yeah, 10.5.
Sponsor us.
10.5.
no ball.
So, would we really want that? If we ever have a friend who says, "Hey, I know somebody going to the combine. I really want him fucking coming to play with us,"
Yeah.
so we can get shit on.
So we can say we did it.
Well, I guess that's true.
If you're scared to play the game, don't come.
You're right. I just learned something.
Shit.
Right.
Justin said, not me.
It's true. Well, someone finds Zion's number. We're gonna invite him. Here we go.
Zion.
Would you come if Luca came?
Probably.
Exactly. Yeah. You
Yeah.
love
Plus, you want to see it. Be like, look.
I'd come if Mark Cuban came.
As long as you don't kill me.
him. Wow. Yeah, I need a pitch to him.
Yeah, let me hold 20,000.
I don't think that would be enough.
And low ball him so he gives me more. Like,
He's Robinson.
oh, too nice. Here's 20 million.
You're a nice guy for that. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
If I make this corner 3, I can't shoot outside corner 3s for whatever reason.
Yeah. What if Mark Cuban came and he was like, all right, like if you beat me.
I'm going hard.
Yeah. No.
I'm tearing everything, dude.
But no. So Mark Cuban then just like balls it up and just like wrecks everyone.
He used to play basketball.
Yeah.
So he's probably still gnarly, and
Do what you gotta do.
he gets to play in that stadium for free for however long. he ends up-
It's not for free. He owns it. He pays those
yeah,
bills.
well, theoretically free.
I mean, no more than what he's already paying.
At least he pays his bills.
That's true.
Some of them don't.
Keeps all the lights on in all of establishments.
So.
This big counted by 7.
Mark
by
Cuban
7.
madness.
Oh my god! I'm pretty sure this is episode 15. It is.
15, the season-ending
Yeah.
wrap
So
up,
what
like
do we
final.
So what can people expect moving forward? Just
That's
when
a-
we feel like it.
That's a good ass question.
So we take a couple weeks off. I think we do month leading up to the combine. When's the combine now? April?
Might be late March.
Is it March?
Late March, early
I don't
April.
know. I don't know when the actual combine is.
When's the draft?
The 2020 resolution, Justin, is you're going to watch a game with us in the 2020
We
season.
don't care what it is.
Just
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, we can do that.
Fuck's sake.
Soccer season. We don't care.
If I have to have a
Soccer
baby,
game? I'm not
Preseason
watching
ba-
any soccer.
preseason
Well, yeah, I can
baseball.
come drink while you guys watch soccer.
if I have to have a baby for your wife to come over here to hang out with my wife and the baby, it's not going to happen. You're still going to come over and just watch football.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
One day.
Maybe month leading up to the draft. I don't know. Like nothing.
I mean, I love the combine. Combine and the draft, one of my favorite aspects.
I used to
of the-
watch like. It would be like I would watch the combine on like NFL Network.
Yeah, combine's dope because I mean that's where I feel like you actually see players in their rawest state.
Their own, not the team.
Now, granted, it's only drills, but it's like there's stuff. I mean, stuff you gotta look for.
Oh yeah,
Tangibles.
Yeah.
Intangibles.
you see it and you're like, all right, who do I want?
Yeah.
It's like that. It's you get to play Madden. Like honestly, like when I go and I play Madden, which I don't even play that much anymore. I used to like that was my favorite part
You
about
queued
it.
up right now, so you get sauced.
Like
I'll have fun. I'll play. I'll do it again.
like that's what you did. Like it was like so much more fun to be like, all right, let me see the
draft.
combine numbers. Let me
Yeah,
see
they're
like,
the players that they generate and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and that's cool because like obviously you're not in the war room, so you don't know. As a fan, you know what we need, but who they gonna go get? And it's just like this last draft, and it's like, oh, Darnell
you guys-
Savage, like, oh,
when you guys play like Madden, like 'cause usually I don't play on like leagues online or anything like that, but
I've done it a long time.
I like take
On a good
notes.
day.
I like take notes. Like, all right, if this guy's here, I want to trade up to get it. Like, it's
I
In
don't
my
do all that.
franchise, nah, I don't do all that. I mean, I will. Well, I do a lot of front office stuff where actually I just I let Blake Martinez play
You play
for.
with the owner, right?
I did this time.
I do just the coach. The owner
Yeah, I
says
do
that's
the
it.
owner and or the GM or whatever you want to say because Green Bay doesn't have an owner, so I write my own narrative. But I let Blake play for 2 games. Fractured forearm, was coming back in like 8 weeks or whatever, or before the trade deadline anyway. So he came back, traded him for like a second and a third, no, 2 3-round picks and a fourth.
get a shit.
He
ton of-
came back and then I got picks. So I'm gonna trade those picks because now I've got like 2 seconds, 3/3. I'm gonna trade up and so that way, yes.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
or like you build like your like players like are like gone or you don't want them to like, and then you like
Well, the game now auto generates like there's like Adrian Peterson Jr. in one of my leagues that I was in and like just made it. Yeah.
Players.
And he was fucking gnarly. So
Yeah.
he was a goon. So but yeah, I've done that stuff before. Like,
Yeah.
Jay Sternberger's starting, so he's going off. Devontae Adams in Madden is just stupid this year. He's broken. His route running's insane.
Yeah, fuck all that X Factor shit.
That is dumb. It's just
It makes it like more.
yeah, I haven't
arcadey.
in a long time, but yeah,
You're not missing much.
outro too.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway,
Welcome.
So
stay tuned.
So a couple
That
weeks.
DLC.
We'll talk. We're gonna hoot more than we record.
Yeah.
Well, me and Justin. Well, I don't know if Dakota's gonna come.
Ooh,
Just saying.
Just
counted
say-
by sevens. This is Justin.
Wait.